Oh, my, oh, my. Look at that. Whoa. I would get automatic respect riding such a beautiful animal, but I'm afraid that's just a bit out of my price range.
Tell you what, white bread, I'll give you Ferrari for free!
Booyah!
All through the night I dreamed that you were near to me, but then with the light of morning, oh my dear, I wake up again until I wake up again until tears on my pillow.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What the Hell Happened to Them?
Season 2, baby.
Technically season 2, but for no real good reason other than the fact that we've been away for way too long. But the whole crew's here. Me, Joe, Lev, we're all here and we're all ready to talk about the
How
Adam
the
Sandler
hell did
classic.
we get Lev back here?
Lev loves us. That's
We're
why.
at a new studio.
We are not at a new studio. We are still at the Quixotic United Productions audio recording studios.
But we moved down the street.
We've moved to a slightly newer location. It is a little cleaner, better, fresh coat of paint, all the good stuff.
That paint smell, baby.
And we're gonna talk about the Disney Cinema Sandler pair up of what's it called, Joe?
Bedtime stories.
Bedtime Stories Remix. Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them for the special remix Sandler saga. We liked it so much the first time we thought we'd do it again. Liked is in quotes. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is Evil Joe Neville, Joe Vekeman.
Hi.
And on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer, reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is wasps. I don't know if that's the insects or the people.
The people? No, it's definitely the people.
The people? We can only hope. I feel guilty taking money from our insect overlords. Joe, what movie are we remixing for Sandler this time?
We remixed Bedtime Stories. Who knows why? My opinion hasn't changed on this thing.
Let me...
Still a lump of crap. For free!
It looks like we recorded this episode in February of 2016.
Wow.
A bit tenuous, but that's, I believe, when it happened.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, what happens in Bedtime Stories, Joe?
Well, let me tell you. A hotel handyman's life changes when the lavish bedtime stories he tells his niece and nephews start to magically come true.
Yeah, you know, a lot of my takes from the original episode when I went back and listened, they all still largely apply. I thought maybe you might, now that you have kids, maybe tell them bedtime stories. I didn't know if maybe that would bring up something for you.
I read them books.
You fucking... I thought you wanted to be a writer, you lazy son of a... You gotta be
I'm not going to give them all my good material. No, that's a good idea.
Gotta save it. Yeah, I get it.
Well, I mean, I really don't read Ellie books, but I read Julian books every night.
Books about cars and people who make cars.
Yes, trucks, little blue trucks.
Little blue trucks.
Yeah, the horn goes beep, the cow goes moo, sheep goes bah, pig goes oink, shit like that. And I'm like, this one, the Caldecott? Courtney Cox and Adam Sandler as brother and sister. This is why I thought it was funny, because we almost could have done a double feature of Courtney Cox, but we didn't. We spaced it out.
Well, I mean, they're not going to be released with Ace Ventura nearby
I know,
anyway.
but I watched them back to back. It was weird.
Like, it's like we could say, like, oh, well, she's just playing generic female lady because Friends isn't out yet, so that makes sense. But Friends has been out and is ended, and you're still making her play generic female lady?
Friends was out for about a year by the time they made Ace Ventura.
Yeah, no, but she gets cast before. That's the whole thing, right? You might have even had a lot of production already done. So, like, she's just a woman that, like, showed up in an episode of Family Ties, and she's like, I gotta make it into the movies.
Yeah. They already had the dolphin for the Miami Dolphins cast.
Well, we don't know if that was the real dolphin for the Miami Dolphins from the 70s.
It was what's the dolphin's name? Do you remember?
Flipper.
Was it Flipper?
No.
It's just that boring.
That's my default. That's my default dolphin name. That movie hadn't come out yet.
So we have an Adam Shankman joint here.
But a Tim Herlihy script.
That's right. Matt Lopez pitched in with some good jokes for free.
Still a good bit. Works well.
Yeah, it's probably the funniest Schneider's been since Big Daddy.
Yeah, well, he doesn't get right. There's a lot of like stuff he's not even doing in between there.
Well, he has his run.
I guess he's got You Can Do It.
Yeah, that's Waterboy.
Yeah.
But he has his run. Schneider has his run in between Big Daddy and this. He has his like 4-movie run. Yeah, he's got Deuce Bigelow.
Oh, no. But to say he's not in, I'm only going over Sandler movies. I thought that's what we were talking about. The funniest.
Well, I mean,
he's been in this.
Sandler's in those movies.
Oh, he is.
Pops up because he does the reverse role. He's like, "You can do it, Rob." What a weird cast. Guy Pearce.
Budget Brad Pitt.
Shit, Brad Pitt. Fuck off. That's rude. Guy Pearce has been in plenty of sci-fi movies you've never heard of. No, I like Guy Pearce. Wait, that can't be real.
Guy Pearce is real.
No, wait, well, he's in The Brutalist.
Oh, really? Acquired in one day by A24.
Well, he's in the new Cronenberg movie this year. He's in the new Brady Corbett movie. Yes, our new favorite auteur, Brady Corbett.
I don't know. Who is that?
He's the director of The Brutalist.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But no, Guy Pearce was in 475 episodes of Neighbours from Australia,
Neighbours?
I believe. Yeah, Neighbours, the TV series. He plays Mike Young. And this has run from 1986 to 2024.
He can't be in all. What the fuck is this? Neighbours.
He's Mike Young.
That I don't care who he is. What is Neighbours?
It's an Australian soap opera exploring the lives and relationships of the residents of Ramsay Street in a suburb of Melbourne called Erinsborough.
Okay, well, if it's a soap opera, that actually doesn't sound like that many episodes. That's like a year and a third's worth of episodes.
I guess so. Yeah, he must have just like pops in randomly because
he pops in and out, or like he might have done that and then got big and doesn't have to do it anymore, but the show's still going.
Stefan Dennis, who plays Paul Robinson, who's been in 4,996 episodes since 1985 to 2024. That man has been in it all. There must have been just some solo episodes of that guy, because everybody else I'm seeing like 1,400, 1,300, 3,200. Moving on from Neighbours. All right. Guy Pearce works, though. That's for sure.
Well, you left out sort of the biggest albatross in the movie, Russell Brand.
Yes, no.
Truly terrible. It's a bad part. It's a bad performance.
It's a bad person.
Probably bad. What has he done? Did he get Me Too'd or something?
He's done enough. I don't want to talk about him.
Great. I love it when people I hate are bad people. It's my favorite.
Yeah, the whole bit at the end where he has to like explain what Sandler's saying when Sandler's like mouth is like globbed up. That bummed me out because it wasn't funny.
I think that maybe the joke's supposed to be like Sandler's just making gooky noises.
Yeah, but he took away from the goofy noises because he was explaining it. I'm like, just let people be like, oh, and just react to goofy noises. That's funnier. But they needed Russell Brand to have a bit.
Disney does not trust its audience to understand the pivotal quote-unquote plot points.
Yeah, but Disney definitely trusted its audience to think that Adam Sandler and Teresa Palmer, who was born in 1986, that is a 20-year age gap. Teresa Palmer, I believe, was... let me double-check this. I just want to make sure I get it right. Because I believe that same summer or the summer after... Let me check. Make sure it's the same person. It's not. Moving on. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Wow, she hasn't done much, has she? She was in The Fall Guy this year.
Big gap in there.
Yeah, there's a big gap because it's like she doesn't. Oh, I guess she was on a show. She's on a witch show.
A witch show?
I thought Teresa Palmer was in that Michael Cera movie, but she's not. I must be thinking of a different.
Blonde lady? Yeah, welcome to my world.
Definitely that. Oh, she was in the Warm Bodies. I guess that could have been like a proto Michael Cera.
The Jim Jarmusch thing?
Nope. Warm Bodies is a zombie movie where the zombie boy falls in love with a human girl. And he's like, I don't want to be a zombie all the way.
Oh, that sounds stupid. What's the Jim Jarmusch vampire movie?
With Bill Murray and Adam Driver.
I don't remember who's in it. I just remember he made one.
Yeah, I remember it not being funny. That was my problem with that movie. So I didn't really remember the title of that movie. I saw it.
Very well.
I definitely saw that movie, though, but I don't remember laughing. So, thus, I have thrown it out into the trash.
You know what was nice, though, is that Adam Sandler could have, when he saves the Paris Hilton proxy...
That's rude to Paris Hilton. No, I'm kidding.
He could have wanted to have sex with her, but instead he said, nah, I just want a lot of money. It's almost wholesome in a way.
Yeah, very wholesome of Disney to just say he wants a lot of money.
Instead of having sex with this woman, this young lady, he's just like, yeah, just give me the money, it's fine.
Did you know this is Adam Sandler's first Disney film? Huh?
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
But it also feels like an artifact from a bygone Disney era, right? Like, they wouldn't make this movie anymore.
No.
It's not based on anything.
No, you're right.
And it's like a star vehicle, right? Like you're making it around Adam Sandler. They don't really do that anymore either.
No, that's very true. Wow, did you know that Russell Brand and Lucy Lawless, who's also in this movie apparently, would later appear in Minions: Rise of Gru? I saw that with my daughter.
Well, did she hate it?
She liked that one, actually.
Just not Lightyear.
No, that was definitely boring. That was the only movie we've ever walked out of, and she's like, Daddy, I didn't want to make you feel bad, but that movie was boring. And I'm like, I don't want to see it. I was trying to be nice.
You don't make me feel bad, but maybe Angus feels a little bad.
Angus?
The director, Angus MacLean.
Oh. You know the director of Lightyear?
Well, I've listened to every episode of Sox Talk.
Oh, what a plug.
Starring Greg Keller and Dimitri Keone.
Yeah, we'll work
Whatever
that
his last name is. It's spelled weird. I don't know. But Lucy Lawless, I think, plays Guy Pearce's assistant.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
I don't know why she took that role, but I guess because she hasn't done a lot of things since Xena or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you got Rob Schneider playing Johnny Depp, playing Tonto in The Lone Ranger.
That's right. Rob Schneider appears as a thief in real-life story and as a Native American horse trader in one of the Western story sequences. He says his signature line, I can do it, in the story scene rather than his usual line, you can do it.
Well, you know what? They gotta bring that back. I want more you can do it. What happened to you can do it?
I mean, there was such a fucking easy layup in Who Be Halloween.
Yeah.
But we completely skirted by it, and that's sad.
You gave Rob Schneider the straight man role in that movie too.
Yeah. And you know what? We just watched Love You, the Adam Sandler comedy special, and could have easily done a you can do it, because then finish the set. You can do it.
I think they did that. As Rob Schneider is climbing over chairs trying to find a seat, I think Sandler gets in a quick you can do it.
Okay. All right.
I think so.
All of his crimes are forgiven.
I'll have to go back and look, I suppose. It's weird that Adam Sandler grew up in L.A. his whole life, where the movie is set, but he carries a Derek Jeter card in his wallet.
Derek Jeter, New York. Yeah. Why?
So do you think when they did the Western story, that was practice for the Ridiculous Six? They were prepping it up. They're let's figure out how to do this Western thing.
Maybe. He's not a good cowboy, though.
No.
He's got no cowboy in him.
No, but he's never trying to be like John Wayne, He's trying to be...
Clint Eastwood?
Trying to be Gene Wilder, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess. No, it's funny because Jim Carrey does a good Eastwood.
Yes, we've seen that.
It's great. Because his face all contorted.
Yeah, he gets in there tight. Yeah. Alrighty then.
Oh, yours is always better. I'm not going to... Adam Sandler broke his ankle during filming. The injury occurred off the set while he was playing basketball. My man. Gonna get those hoops in.
You know what's crazy? Speaking of Russell Brand, it's the second time his best friend in a movie couldn't read.
Oh, yeah. It's a recycled joke then.
Just recycle all the jokes. When they're doing the space story, there's actually, speaking of Sox Talk, there's a Buzz Lightyear in there watching the big tournament. Which Buzz Lightyear do you think it is?
It's definitely the first.
Toy Story 1 Buzz Lightyear, Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear, or
No. We're
Chris
definitely
something Buzz Lightyear.
Chris Evans, right? It's Chris Evans.
I don't know which Chris.
I'm gonna say it's Chris Evans and not look it up and just assume it's Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, Buzz Lightyear, watching this movie, being like, my time's coming soon. They're going to unearth my lost 1980 film on which the toy line is based on the cartoon. You need Grant for this historical evidence.
Toy line is based on the cartoon, but the cartoon is based on the real life person, right?
There's no real life Buzz Lightyear.
There is. His name is Buzz Lightyear, and he went to space.
No, there's a movie, but the movie that Andy liked when he was no.
Oh, so he basically watched Apollo 13 and was like, this is my Tom Hanks.
In the world of Lightyear, in the world of Pixar, in the Pixar expanded universe, Lightyear, the movie came out in the 80s. Somehow felt very 2020s in its production design and morals and casting and tech stuff. And then they made a cartoon based on that. Andy liked the cartoon, didn't like the movie or didn't see the movie, but the cartoon was what had toys based off of it, not the movie, because the movie had licensing issues or something.
Well, the real starring Mel Gibson.
Yeah, he's there too.
Do as a backstory is Apollo 13 came out the same year as Toy Story. They should have just said, "Hey, I like this Hanks guy. Wait, doesn't he sound like my buddy Woody?" Never mind.
Why do you keep bringing up Apollo 13? I don't understand.
There's
no time travel
movie.
in Apollo 13.
It's a space movie.
Lost in Space came out in 1995. We're not bringing that up.
No, that's 1998 because it dethroned Titanic at the box office.
What? It did not.
It did. You can look it up.
You're fucking full of crap.
No, it killed its 14-week run or something like that. You're looking it up. People believe me. That's rude.
I am looking it up. Yeah, Matt LeBlanc got fat.
Well,
to be fair, Matt LeBlanc just got old.
Yeah.
That's really what happened.
Yeah, be nice to Matt LeBlanc. He had to sit through Joey reruns.
All season and a third of them.
Oh, rough. Wow, the Bedtime Stories soundtrack. Oh, at the Nottingham Broadway Mega Resort performed by Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce has a credit on the soundtrack.
Was My Favorite Martian come out in 1998? No, that's 1999. All right, I guess no space movies came out in 1995.
Not true. Apollo 13. Rude. That movie should have won Best Picture. Over what? What won?
95.
Oh, Braveheart? Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Starring Patrick McGowan.
Starring Mel Gibson.
Yeah, he's there too.
Who else is in this? Richard Griffiths? You don't know Richard Griffiths?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, he's in the Harry Potter movies.
Well, yeah, not following those.
Well, he's in Hugo. He's in Chariots of Fire.
All movies I don't like.
He's in The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Mm-hmm. You know, this movie could have had John McEnroe. Like, you have this whole British lady learning tennis lessons. Like, you couldn't sneak in a little cameo for your buddy John there.
Yeah, that's rude.
And it's still like that era, too. Like, you could have done it. Could have been done.
He still got to fit in his friend Nick Swartzen, Alan Covert, Carmen Electra.
That's his friend, Carmen Electra?
I think she's been in a couple of his movies. She's 52. Let's see. Carmen Electra's first credited role was in Good Burger.
That's right. I saw her in that.
What else? Has she been in a Sandler? I thought she's been at least one or other one.
She was in the Good Burger 2.
She was. I didn't see that. Has she not been in another Sandler? I thought she was at least 2. Wow. Her first credited role was Good Burger, and her last credited role was Good Burger 2. Good for her. What a bookend career.
She could still make new things.
I hope she doesn't. I hope she's just like that's the way to do it. Who would have expected a Good Burger sequel 20-something years later?
This movie really felt like Disney was in the big budget Hallmark movie game.
Bedtime stories?
Yeah. That's what Bedtime Stories feels like a bigger budget Hallmark kind of film. The dialogue is all on the nose.
The lighting looks like that.
The lighting extremely flat. You take out like the little story modes, which you don't even fully utilize aesthetically anyway. Like you have a very generic kind of like some of it doesn't even make any sense. Like the British guy buys his dad's hotel, which is failing.
Guy Pearce.
And then not Guy Pearce, the older guy.
What older guy?
Guy Pearce is trying to take over the hotel.
Oh. Okay, well, he's Australian. What am I doing?
Okay, whatever. The non-Americans, the foreigners, the aliens.
It's also like Jonathan Pryce is supposed to be Sandler's dad, right?
So the guy buys Sandler's dad's hotel that's failing and he just like builds over it. So it's just the location you wanted, really, is the goal? If the location were good, the hotel probably wouldn't be failing.
Clean this up for me. Why were they going to blow up the school? Is that just because they wanted more property?
Yeah, they were going to build a new hotel there. But also, like I said in the previous episode, they wanted another hotel. Well, they were going to move their hotel from this location that I guess was so good you had to buy it 20 years ago or whatever.
So couldn't they just blow up the old hotel and make that a school?
The problem is that you're not. A town is not demoing a school and having kids have nowhere to go.
Yeah, no.
That's never happened. That felt very Hallmarky.
Yeah.
They're either going to go to schools that are already there, but likely since you're in LA, you have a school crowding problem. So, somewhere else you've already built a new school and the kids just moved there. It's also weird that Guy Pearce knows that Adam Sandler and that teacher have a thing, and then that Guy Pearce can track her down and tell her this. Guy Pearce has no idea that's going on. He has no care about what's going on in Adam Sandler's life. It's like, what is that? And it's very convenient that a different property is suddenly available on the beach that he wanted the whole time, which we didn't know until that very moment came in. It's like they got to the end of the script and they're like, oh shit, we got to wrap this up real quick. We're running out of pages. What do we do? All right, he actually wanted a different spot. And they just make that happen. He couldn't buy it before for whatever reason, but suddenly now he can.
That's true.
It could have even been like Adam Sandler convinced the beach buyer guy at the beginning. I don't know.
Another thing that Disney wouldn't allow.
They don't even try to explain it, Joe. They don't even try.
Another thing Disney wouldn't allow, though, is the potential of two children being blown up in a building. They really get close to that. It's 3 seconds away?
Well, that wasn't even edited well. You hadn't even seen them. I don't know. You didn't montage that well to be like, oh no, they might be in danger. You hadn't seen them in a couple minutes. You forgot they're in there.
Let's see.
And then Sandler has his Greece story, but it's really all happening in Rome. And even Skeeticus is a play on Spartacus that was a Roman slave and not a Greek slave. I'm just saying, the chariot racing, that's a Roman thing. The emperor Roman thing. Yeah, all you had to do was say in ancient Rome. You could have just said ancient Rome. You didn't have to say ancient Greece. Sandler's character, spending his whole life working in hotels, just didn't learn about the ancient world that much, I guess.
Adam Shankman. Oh, this is his signature movie, though.
That's gross. Him and that poor blonde lady.
Well, no, because he's made The Pacifier.
Gross.
Cheaper by the Dozen
2.
How soon after do you think they made Cheaper by the Dozen 2? What was the turnaround on that one?
2 years.
2 years? You're exactly right.
That's a good sequel turnaround time.
Sean Levy, who directed this year's box office smash hit Deadpool and Wolverine, directed the first Cheaper by the Dozen.
Didn't want to come back for Cheaper by the Baker's Dozen?
What makes it... What a terrible title. Cheaper by the Dozen 2. You're lazy.
Yeah, because especially when you read that, it's going to be Cheaper by the 122. That's just going to confuse you.
Huh. I mean, they got all of them back. Oh, you know what?
Nope.
I think Mr. Adam Shankman works with Carmen Electra a lot.
Oh, he's got himself a little crush, does he? Like Quentin and the Uma?
He only worked with her twice.
Okay.
I guess that's all they work together, too. Yeah, Adam Shankman, director of Bringing Down the House. Oh, so he worked with Steve Martin a lot. Twice, I guess. Fuck off. I'm tired. I haven't slept.
It's interesting you never got Sandler and Martin together. You could have done like a father-son thing there.
Can you imagine Sandler and Carrie Mulligan? Wait, didn't we get that?
I guess we did, yeah.
We got that this year. Patrick, I'm tired.
That's all right. So you didn't like the movie the first time, and you still don't like it.
I really didn't like it this time, and I knew I wasn't gonna like it, and it felt so long. And I checked in 95 minutes, not that long. It felt like a full 2 hours, though. I'm not gonna lie, especially that long build up to the blowing up of the building. That dragged out so long.
I didn't like it so much, but knowing I was going in not liking it, I wasn't as annoyed by it this time.
You creep.
I'm checking my rankings now. I don't think I would move it, but I'm just checking.
All right, well, fine. I'll check as well.
We'll check. We'll see.
Let's check in.
It's down there. There we go.
Checky Moskowitz?
Yeah. I've got mine.
I've got it at number 44. It is just above the
way
cobbler.
Down there.
Yeah.
The cobbler and what? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I should put the do-over a little higher. I just haven't watched it recently.
We'll get there at some point. I got mine at 34.
At some point.
Sandwiched in between Men, Women, Children and Hotel Transylvania 2.
You psycho. How dare you put Men, Women, and Children that high up? That is a fucking
Joe,
awful movie.
Let me tell you what's underneath Men, Women, Children. Bedtime Stories, all the Hotel Transylvanias, Mr.
Rude.
Deeds, Leo, Spanglish,
Mr.
Anger
Deeds.
Management, Grown Ups. I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
All right, yeah, that's my last one. It's dead last. Chuck and Larry is dead last. I will never watch that one again because it has Kevin James in such a prominent role.
It's always sad when you see
really
that.
unfortunate. And I'm a big, I'm a big Ving Rhames fan, and I can't complete that movie.
Great.
I mean, I guess I've already watched it, but you know.
So I guess I'll hang tight here at 34.
34, crazy.
There's just so much crap that he makes, Joe. Like we forget it because of the Stockholm Syndrome, and because he's in the Sandler Renaissance.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got
Sandler-sance.
I've got Bedtime Stories above The Cobbler, Pixels, Going Overboard, The Longest Yard, Bulletproof, The Ridiculous Six, Men, Women, Children, and Chuck and Larry.
I've got half of those above.
You're
I like
psycho.
the Cobbler is like 2 spots above. Bulletproof's 3. Funny People's a little over.
You only like The Cobbler because it's a Batman origin story. We'll never forget that moment.
As Alberto and I blew your mind.
Yeah, it really fucked me up. I guess I should put Little Nicky a little further down because that is a piece of crap.
Yeah, but it's still like okay-ish as far as piece of crap. I have mine at 27.
Where do I have it? Little Nicky is at 37. You don't have as many Sandlers logged as I do.
I only have 47 Sandler movies logged.
52.
Yeah, I don't do any of the comedy things or the.
Well, I
ancillary
threw in
stuff.
Dirty Work. You've seen
Yeah, I
Dirty
don't have him
Work.
for that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have him for that?
No, I don't. No, I have the movies we did for the podcast in here.
True. Okay. Well, I've thrown some extra ones in there. I've got the short that he did with Benny Safdie, Goldman versus Silverman. I have that ranked number 25.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's also fine. Like,
Yeah,
it's fine.
You got any last looks on Bedtime Stories?
Last looks, yep, still don't like the movie, but I'm not a Disney guy anyway. Though, I guess I would rather Disney make movies like this than whatever they're doing now. That's the weird spot you've put me in, 2024.
What was the last Disney movie that came out?
Wish.
That's not true. The last Disney movie that came out was, I believe...
Little Mermaid?
No. Deadpool and Wolverine, I believe.
But like, what's the last like Disney branded thing? You know?
Well, I just looked up Disney movies 29-24, so I'm a little in the future.
Spoilers, please.
Well, let me tell you, they're still making lots of Star Wars, lots of fucking Marvel shit.
Deadpool and Wolverine 47.
Oh, wow. They've preserved Ryan Reynolds' decrepit body.
Yeah, they do like an AI Ryan Reynolds.
Wow, I guess Disney hasn't put much out this year.
Well, last year they kept putting out flops, so I don't mind them.
The last
scaling
one
back.
was Deadpool and Wolverine, and then the one before that was Inside Out 2.
Oh, okay.
So, my last looks, Sandman. Don't do it again.
Don't do another Disney movie, you mean?
Yes, don't do another Disney, please.
Yeah, you know what, Netflix, I'm not a fan of you, but if you're going to keep Sandler away from Disney, then, we see eye to eye a little bit. All right, I'd like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping us sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank Joe Vekeman for stopping by. And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar-sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight. Good night.
Dream, sweet dreams for me. Dream, sweet dreams for you. Now it's time to say goodnight.
As you know, Joe, they've done another Good Wife spinoff.
The Good Strife.
Now, this one takes the Carey Mulligan lawyer and gives her like a Columbo detective show.
Wait, Carey Mulligan? There's no way Carey Mulligan's in that show.
You're right. Who's the woman? Is there a
Carey
Carey?
Preston.
Carey Preston. There we go. We got there.
You watch the show, I know.
You see how I got there. And she was my favorite lawyer, so I was excited for this. But I don't like her in the Columbo setting. I also probably, you have to sand away a lot of her quirks to make her a main character. I've complained about this before.
It's the Han Solo problem. You can't make Han Solo the main character, and he's boring.
Exactly. But as I finally finished it up yesterday, the interesting thing I thought they were going to do, they ended up not doing it. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to get into the fact that as I had turned it on, as I was like, I wonder if they're going to do a new season. The first season is not great, but the first season of like all their shows have been their weakest seasons. So I'm willing to be like, all right, well, in season 2, they'll come and they'll change it up, which is what they did for The Good Fight and The Good Wife. So I'm like, all right, well, fine. Then I'm like, well, this might be so boring, and they already have Poker Face over there on Peacock. Maybe there's no audience for this anymore, Like, this is so different from what the first 2 good shows did.
There's 2 good shows.
So I'm like, all right, I'll watch this so I don't get any spoilers. I'll look it up after, if there's going to be a season 2, how likely that is. And then at the bottom of the screen, as I turn it on, it's just like, oh, hey, new episode streaming in October. And I go, October? This just came out in like April or March. You're already ready to... You jumped into that real quick.
Was it the strikes that affected it? Why the season got delayed and then you got a new season right away?
Well, that's interesting. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. I ended up not looking anything up because I only have to wait a month, I guess.
Huh.
I'll be disappointed when I get more just like crimes of the week. And the bad guys are always like sitcom people, which you think I would like, but they're never good sitcom people.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Well, since TV's failing you, after this Friday, the next 2 Fridays, let me tell you, get some real movies coming out again.
You just like looked at the list and you said there was nothing.
There was nothing for the beginning of February. I mean, wow, February. September. So we got The Substance is with Demi Moore is next Friday.
Oh, this thing. Okay.
And then the following Friday is Megalopolis.
Already? Wasn't they just bitching you couldn't get anyone to distribute it and like now, boom, in theaters. Done.
It's coming out the 27th. Very exciting.
But that movie's going to be like 3 hours?
No, it's like 2:15.
How long is The Substance?
2:20.
I missed the short movies. What happened?
2:20's not bad.
Dude, that's like a Star Wars movie. I don't want that.
I don't think this is a Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bedtime.
Bedtime.
Getting a little sleepy. Time to tell me a bedtime story, Joe.
Give me a nap, Daddy.